In this video, I want to look at why the emotional abuser is jealous of your relationships. And jealousy consists of maybe one or more emotions, such as anger and resentment, or feeling inadequate or helpless, or even disgust. And the original meaning, jealousy, is from envy. So why is it that the emotional abuser gets so jealous of your relationships with other people? Hello, my name's Elizabeth Goddard from Revive Your Soul. And on this channel, I talk about healing from emotional abuse, breaking free of the trauma bonds, of the invisible chain that keep you trapped in this relationship, not being able to let go. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. And if you hit the little notification bell at the side, you'll be notified each time I upload a video. And if you're returning, welcome back. And I just want to say a huge thank you to all my new subscribers. It's amazing. Thank you so much. So why does the emotional abuser get jealous of your relationships with other people? The green-eyed monster. Some people believe the colour green is associated with jealousy, and that dates back to the ancient Greeks. And we also use the expression green with envy, although this 19th century phrase is a variant of the green-eyed monster. In Othello, Shakespeare refers explicitly to the green-eyed monster as jealousy. Oh, beware, my lord, of jealousy. It is the green-eyed monster. To be jealous is to be upset and angry because someone that you love seems interested in another person, or because someone has something you want. Jealousy can consist of one or more emotions: anger, resentment, inadequacy, helplessness, or disgust. In the original meaning, jealousy is distinct from envy, although now jealousy is taking on that definition. You might feel jealous if you fear you're about to lose something or someone. And children can become jealous if they perceive their parents' love and attention is going to somebody else. Why is it that the emotional abuser is jealous of your relationships? And this can be with your children, friends, and other family members, or even work colleagues. When you understand who the emotional abuser is and how they function, you can see what it is that makes them behave in this way. You can see what it is that brings up this emotion in them. If you look at the grandiose narcissist, where we see an extrovert, a bold and confident person with superficial charm, but they are callous and unemotional, or the vulnerable narcissist, the covert, is characterized by shame, anger, aggression. They're hypersensitive and they get very defensive and they avoid situations, socially awkward and shy. They are children trapped in adult bodies, unable to regulate their emotions, and they're unable to understand the feelings that they experience. And as these children, they do everything they can to protect themselves from being abandoned, which very possibly happened in early childhood, or they experienced some form of trauma and they abandon themselves and they now are trapped. They're jealous of you and your relationships as they create a threat to them, and it's the child within them that's regulating these emotions. They're jealous because they believe your attention should be going towards them and no one else. Your every waking moment should be about them. They taught you this. At the beginning of the relationship, when you woke up to messages from them, they were training you. You thought they were sending the messages because they were thinking about you, but they were actually making sure that the first thing you thought about was them. They were conditioning you to put them first. In their world, there is no one else, so your focus should be on them, not even yourself. And the fear of abandonment is the biggest reason they're jealous of your relationships. They fear this more than anything else. And if you abandon them, they are not in control. They are jealous of the different depths of relationships. And one of their biggest fears is that people will see through their masks outside. You'll trust their judgment over the emotional abusers. They're jealous of different people and the different depths of your relationships, fearful that they are not good enough. So they belittle your friends and your family, and they convince you that they can't be trusted. and they position themselves in a place of power and control. So it's the abuser you turn to. They are jealous of any trust that you have created with other people. There are so many different levels of emotions, and they are unable to emotionally provide for you in any way. And they fear that if you realise this, you might abandon them. They manufacture situations to create jealousy, and then they claim that you are the jealous person in the relationship. And you might wonder if that's actually true, and you might question that. Am I jealous? But by the end of the relationship, you believe it is true. And they then smear your character and use the jealousy as one of the reasons that they can no longer be with you. Through their own insecurity, they manufacture situations and they convince you this is all your fault, and you end up believing them. They project everything onto you, their pain, their wounds, their insecurities, and then they mirror yours as well. And now you're probably feeling crushed. And the reason that some of these emotions feel so unfamiliar to you is because you have been tricked into believing there is something wrong with you, and that they are perfect, and that you were really lucky to have them in your life, and you were the one that went and ruined it all. And at this point, if I've got a special effects for screeching brakes, it will be inserted here. Step back and reword that sentence. It was a bit wordy, but I want you to step back and think about it. They projected everything onto you. They projected their pain, they projected their wounds, they projected their insecurities. They also did mirror some of your insecurities, and this is why at the end of it, you come out of these relationships feeling so emotionally drained, so insecure, so crushed, like your soul has been ripped out of you. But you also feel these emotions are unfamiliar. Some of them don't fit, they don't feel right. And that is because you were tricked into believing that there was something wrong with you when there wasn't. When they manufactured the jealousy, they convinced you had trust issues and that this came from past relationships. And this was nothing about you, this was all about them. Yes, you had your own wounds and you did make mistakes, but the biggest mistakes you made were overlooking their bad behaviour and giving them more chances to abuse you, not walking away when you saw the red flags. So give them back their wounds. Don't tell them, don't make contact with them, don't try to tell them that you've woken up and you realise who they are. Understand what's yours and what isn't yours. Are you a jealous person? Do you have trust issues? Have you got an abandonment wound? Have you got a wound of shame and a wound of guilt that need healing? And take the wounds that you've got and heal those. You did nothing wrong. They were so insecure that they wanted to destroy you because their biggest fear was that you were going to abandon them. They have done that, or you might believe they've destroyed you, but they haven't. They've cracked you open. And when something gets cracked open, one of two things happen. Just like an egg, if the egg is broken by an outside force, life ends. But if it is broken by an inside force, life begins. Great things always begin from the inside. Real change can only come from within. Be that change. Don't wait around for karma to get them, or for vengeance. Heal your wounds, ignore the ones that they've tried to give you, and step into that amazing life that is waiting for you. And that is your karma. You're supposed to stay small. You're supposed to be broken, and you're supposed to be hurting, waiting for them to come back. They're jealous of your relationships through their own fears, which they then project onto you. I hope you found this helpful. If you'd like to find out more about working with me on a one-to-one basis, you can visit my website reviveyoursoul.co.uk, or you can drop me an email, info@reviveyoursoul.co.uk. I'm going to put some links to resources in the description box below, and the links to both my books, Finding Lily and the A to Z of Emotional Abuse. Sending you loads and loads and loads of love.